Hey everybody, it's day 12 of our devotional series through the book of Philippians. Trust that you're doing well. I'd like to speak to you this morning about Epaphroditus. Now that's not a big theological phrase, that's actually the name of a man, Epaphroditus. And Paul mentions him in Philippians 2 and verse 25 when he says, "But now I think it is necessary to send back to you Epaphroditus, my brother, my co-worker, my fellow soldier, who is also your messenger." Epaphroditus is not mentioned elsewhere in the Bible, but this mention is such an amazing reference to him. Paul mentions 4 different things about this man Epaphroditus. He says, first of all, he's my brother. That's not a literal biological brother. He says, that's my brother in the faith. But this man who had come from Philippi to be with Paul, he was their messenger. He had brought the messages from them, was taking this letter back to them. Paul says, I'm sending to you Epaphroditus, who's my brother, who's my co-worker, my fellow soldier, and he's also your messenger. What stands out to me about that is Epaphroditus was a man who could wear multiple hats. He was a most incredible man to have on a team. Epaphroditus, Paul says, was like a brother to me. He says, secondly, that he was my co-worker. He wasn't afraid of hard work. Brother speaks of being relational, of being connected, of being committed. Co-worker speaks about getting your hands dirty, about getting involved, about doing stuff together. He said also, Epaphroditus was my fellow soldier. That speaks about being willing to fight, willing to get involved, not fight physically, but Paul came under a lot of attack, a lot of persecution. He was at this time in jail, so he was in some deal of physical trouble. And he says, Epaphroditus was my fellow soldier. He was the guy that stood with me when the going got tough. He wasn't just a brother, not only a co-worker, but also a fellow soldier. And then fourthly, he says, who is also your messenger. He was able to work autonomously. He was able to carry the work outside of being with Paul or being with that church in Philippians. It is such a high recommendation, actually, of this man Epaphroditus, who was able to be relational. He was able to do the tasks that required doing. He was able to stand firm in the face of conflict and difficulty. And he was also able to be sent. He was a reliable person who was able to carry this letter back to the church and carry the messages from the church to Paul. If you're leading a team, I'm pretty sure you can think of some people on your team who are like Epaphroditus, who have got all these different strengths. But here's the question, the big question for every single one of us. Are you like Epaphroditus? Are you relationally connected? Are you willing to do the hard work? Are you willing to stand by others during tough times? And are you resilient? And fourthly, are you reliable? Can you work autonomously? Can you carry messages between people reliably? Are you a faithful servant of the gospel, as this man worked together with Paul? So as Epaphroditus challenges us today, let's consider how in each of those 4 areas we can increase our abilities and improve in what we're doing. May God bless you richly today.